The night after the wedding felt too quiet. Laughter from the guests still lingered in my head. I couldn't sleep. Koa sat by the window, his phone screen lighting his face. "She's not who she says she is," he murmured. I wanted to believe he was wrong, but something inside me already knew he was. He turned his phone toward me. 2 phone numbers, both active. 2 different recordings. Same woman. One voice sounded soft and elegant, the other sharp, full of command. "She switches accents," he said. My heart pounded. I remembered hearing her on the terrace earlier. Boston accent, confident, quick. 10 minutes later, she was talking to my father about Europe. Her voice smooth, refined, foreign. It wasn't possible. Unless it was practiced. "She's done this before," Koa whispered. I stared at the screen again. Newspaper articles about how Nam and M1EF9 and met. Each story different. One said they met at a charity gala in New York. Another said a coffee shop in Seattle. Both printed months apart. Both with matching photos. "She's rewriting her past," Koa said. I felt the air leave my lungs. My brother's face flashed in my mind. So trusting. So proud. "She's after something," Koa continued. I shook my head. "She loves him," I said. Even as I spoke, my voice cracked. He showed me one more thing. A record of her foundation. No registration. No address. No board members. Only a name. A beautiful lie, printed in gold letters. "She's using the family to get to your father," he said. My chest tightened. I thought of my father's laughter during dinner. His eyes bright for the first time in years. He believed in her. He trusted her completely. "Your father's aerospace fund," Koa said quietly. 300 million in assets. The number echoed in my head. "What are you suggesting?" I asked. "That she's part of a con," he said. The words hit me like a physical blow. I looked out the window at the vineyard lights. Everything looked perfect. Perfect never lasts. I wanted to run downstairs, to scream a warning. But how could I destroy my brother's happiness without proof? "If we're wrong," I whispered. Koa nodded. "He'll never forgive us." He reached for my hand. "And if we're right?" Outside, a string of fairy lights flickered in the wind. Inside, silence grew heavy between us. I remembered her smile, her charm, the way she'd called me sister. I had believed her. We all had. "Then we find proof," I said finally. The words tasted bitter. My phone buzzed. A text from Nam. "Best day ever, thank you, sis." Tears filled my eyes as I typed back. "I'm happy for you." But deep down I knew the truth. Happiness built on lies always collapses. And tonight, the first crack had already begun to show. Dinner stretched long into the evening. The laughter around the table felt rehearsed. I watched M1EF9 Anne closely. Her every gesture perfect. Every smile precise. She leaned toward my father, her voice soft and warm. "May I borrow your laptop?" she asked sweetly. "I'd love to show everyone the charts." My father beamed, proud and trusting. "Of course, my dear, it's in my briefcase." I tried to stay calm. Koa's hand brushed mine under the table. "Watch her," he whispered. My eyes followed her as she crossed the room. The laptop gleamed under the soft light. She opened it, typed quickly, almost too confidently. Then, a small motion. Something slipped from her palm. Tiny, black. It attached beneath the USB port. My breath caught. Koa's jaw tightened. When she returned to the table, her smile was radiant again. "What was that?" I whispered. He leaned closer. "Keylogger," he murmured. "It records everything. Passwords, account numbers, secrets." I felt dizzy. This wasn't paranoia anymore. This was real. I forced myself to laugh at something Nam said. My father poured more wine, unaware. Across the table, M1EF9 Anne reached for Nam's hand. Her diamond bracelet glittered. Her eyes sparkled. Nothing about her seemed out of place, except that now I knew too much. Later, in the quiet of the library, Koa opened his laptop. He typed fast, searching. No business registration under her father's name, he said. No record of their company, nothing. He looked up at me. Your father's been showing Sterling his investment accounts. I felt my blood run cold. She's not doing this alone, I said. Koa nodded. They're working together. I paced the room, my heart pounding. She charmed all of us, I whispered. She studied us. He showed me the alumni database. No record of her degree either. My knees weakened. Every story she'd told was built on air. She's a professional, Koa said. She knows how to blend in, how to disarm people. I thought of her laughter during the rehearsal dinner. Fluent French, perfect Italian. Languages as masks. I pressed my hands to my face. Nam will never believe us. He doesn't have to, Koa said. We just need proof. Down the hall, the music grew louder. Glasses clinked. The world outside our quiet corner carried on, blissfully blind. We'll wait until morning, Koa said. Then we act. I nodded slowly, though fear gnawed at me. If she had planted one device, what else had she already taken? I thought of my father's passwords, his projects, his dreams. One touch of a key could ruin everything. Tomorrow, I whispered. Koa closed his laptop. The sound was final, sharp. Outside, the wind moved through the vineyard, shaking the lights. Somewhere in that house, a beautiful lie sat smiling at her prey. And I realized then, this wedding was just the beginning of the hunt. Morning came too bright. The house smelled of coffee and roses. Everyone looked refreshed except me. I hadn't slept at all. Koa was already on his phone. She's used 3 different names, he said. He turned the screen toward me. Same face, 3 identities. TH letter 1EA3, ONA Chai in Boston. Hava in Seattle. Lydia M in San Francisco. Each with a different past. Each married to someone wealthy. All ended in sudden disappearances. She leaves before anyone notices, Koa said quietly. My stomach twisted. He scrolled to another file. Sterling, her supposed father. No tax records. No business registration. No trace anywhere. He doesn't exist either, Koa said. I stared at the vineyard outside the window. Nam was walking with her, hand in hand, completely at peace. He looked in love. She looked calculating. She's setting up the next move, I whispered. Your father's meeting with them today, Koa reminded me. About that $25 million transfer. The number hit me like a blade. 25 million. The sum of my father's lifetime work. I grabbed my phone, opened my messages with Dad. He'd sent me a photo last night of spreadsheets. Sterling's team is brilliant, he'd written. My throat tightened. Koa began packing. We need to stop this before Monday, he said. She's creating a full digital profile of your family. How? I asked. The keylogger, accessing accounts, email passwords, banking portals. I felt my skin crawl. She wasn't stealing just money. She was erasing identities. I tried to breathe, but the air felt thick. She fooled everyone, I said. Koa nodded slowly. Professionals like her don't work alone. He sat beside me, voice low. We have to act fast, but we can't alert her yet. What do we do? I asked. He looked at me with calm certainty. We gather everything, every inconsistency, every lie. His words steadied me. I opened my notes app, began typing. Different accents. Different stories. No company records. No family history. No childhood photos. The list grew longer and colder. Nam gave her full access to his trust fund, Koa said suddenly. I froze. When? Yesterday, as a wedding gift. The air left my lungs. He's handed her everything. Koa's expression hardened. She'll vanish once the money hits their account. I pressed my hands together, trembling. We can't confront them without proof, I said. We'll ruin Nam's life if we're wrong. Koa nodded. But if we wait too long, we'll lose everything. I looked again through the window. M1EF9 Anne's laughter floated on the wind. She leaned into Nam's shoulder, her eyes cold, scanning. She's already thinking about her exit, I whispered. Koa placed his hand over mine. Then we make sure she never gets to take it. And for the first time, I wasn't afraid of the truth anymore. I was ready to face it. The sun was setting when we started gathering proof. Koa sat beside me, laptop open, calm but tense. He uploaded the photos of the keylogger first. Every file labeled, time-stamped, stored in the cloud. We documented each lie, each detail that didn't fit. Her charity foundation. Her fake university degree. Her father's non-existent business. Every piece formed a clearer picture. A web of deception stretching across states. I called a contact from my old job. Her name was Jen. She worked in cybersecurity. When I told her about the device, she went silent. Then she said, "Send me photos right now." I did. 10 minutes later, her reply came. It's a commercial-grade data logger, expensive, professional. My heart sank. This wasn't some small scam. It was organized. Koa was already calling another friend, Quinton. He had access to identity databases. Within an hour, we had confirmation. 3 aliases. 3 cities. 3 broken lives behind her. She's done this for years, Koa said. I felt sick. Downstairs, music drifted from the garden. Nam and M1EF9 Anne were laughing with our parents. They looked so happy, so unaware. She's going to run after Monday, Koa said. When the transfer clears. I rubbed my temples. How do we stop her without destroying him? Koa met my eyes. We don't stop her yet, we trap her. The plan formed between us, like a fragile thread. We would record everything. We would act only when the authorities were ready. I reached out to the FBI field office in Oregon. The woman who answered listened carefully. After a pause, she said, "This matches an ongoing investigation." Her tone changed. "Keep her calm, don't confront her, we'll move fast." It felt surreal. Like living inside a movie, except the danger was real. Koa turned off his phone and sighed. She's watching everything. We need to be careful. That night, I walked outside, pretending to take a call. Through the window, I saw M1EF9 and whispering to Sterling. Their faces close, tense. Sterling checked his watch. Her smile was gone. They were planning something. Back in the guest room, Koa packed the device into a small bag. "We hand this to the police tomorrow," he said. "Evidence chain matters." I nodded, though my hands shook. Every second felt stolen. Sleep never came. I lay awake listening to the wind, waiting for morning. When dawn finally broke, the vineyard was silent. It looked peaceful again. But peace meant nothing now. The FBI had called back. They'd seen her before. Different names. Different families. Always the same ending. This time, it wouldn't be hers. I texted Koa one word. Tonight. The game was about to end. The morning air felt sharp and thin. The vineyard was quiet, too quiet. M1EF9, Anne greeted everyone with her usual grace. Her smile perfect, her timing flawless. But her eyes never stopped moving. Koa stood near the doorway, watching every detail. "She knows something," he whispered. My heart raced. We couldn't wait any longer. My father looked delighted. He was explaining to Sterling how the transfer would work. "Tomorrow morning," he said proudly. "$25 million to start the partnership." Sterling nodded, smiling too fast. I caught M1EF9 Anne's glance at him. It wasn't love. It was a signal. Koa squeezed my hand. "It's now or never," he murmured. I stood, forcing my voice to sound calm. "Before we discuss business," I said, "there's something I need to show." Everyone turned toward me. My mother frowned, confused. My father set down his cup. Even Nam looked nervous. I opened my laptop and turned the screen around. "This is what was installed on Dad's computer," I said. A photo filled the screen. The black device, gleaming beneath the USB port. My father leaned forward. "What is that?" he asked. Koa stepped beside me. "A key logger. It records every keystroke, every password." A hush fell over the room. M1EF9 Anne blinked once, then smiled. "That's ridiculous," she said lightly. "It's just a USB drive from the presentation." I clicked to the next slide. "This model transmits data remotely," I said. "It's linked to an IP used in 3 previous fraud cases." Her expression tightened. Sterling's hand twitched at his side. He tried to speak, but Koa interrupted him. "There's more." He displayed the background report. 3 names. 3 faces. All hers. All exposed. Nam's breath caught. He looked from me to her, confusion flooding his face. "This isn't true," she said. "It's jealousy. She's always hated me." Her voice cracked perfectly, rehearsed. But her eyes betrayed her, cold, focused, cornered. I took a deep breath. "We found a storage unit under one of your aliases," I said. Inside were fake passports, credit cards, and files on 5 families. My father stood slowly, his face pale. Sterling backed toward the garden door. "You should sit down," Koa said calmly. But Sterling ran. The crash of the door echoed through the house. Then footsteps. Then voices outside. 2 officers appeared, blocking his escape. Handcuffs clicked. Inside, silence reigned. M1EF9 Anne turned to Nam, tears streaming on cue. "Please, you have to believe me," she whispered. Nam's hand trembled. Then he removed his wedding ring and set it on the table. "No," he said softly. Her face changed. The mask dropped. Her voice turned cold. "You have no idea who you're dealing with." The detective stepped from the hallway. "Actually," she said, "we do." M1EF9, Anne froze as the badge glinted in the light. The cuffs locked around her wrists with a metallic snap. Nam stared at her, silent, broken. I felt tears sting my eyes. It was over. The house stood still. The storm had finally hit, and the truth had burned everything clean. 9 months later, the vineyard felt like another lifetime. The sun over Seattle was pale, calm, forgiving. Nam's new apartment smelled of fresh paint and coffee. He had started over. No more lies, no more perfect smiles. He greeted me with a tired but genuine grin. "You're early," he said softly. His voice carried a steadiness I hadn't heard in months. On the table sat a small stack of photos. Family, childhood, truth restored piece by piece. Dad arrived soon after, looking younger somehow. He'd hired a full-time cybersecurity officer. He kept his phone in a signal-blocking case now. Mom followed, carrying lemonade, her ring glinting in the light. "We keep it simple these days," she said. I smiled. Simplicity had become our armor. Koa helped set the table, his movements quiet and sure. Jen and Quentin joined us, their laughter easy, unforced. They had become family too. For a while, we just ate and talked. No secrets. No shadows. Nam looked across the room, his eyes softer. "You know what's strange," he said. "I don't regret loving her. I froze. He smiled faintly, as if reading my thoughts. I just regret not trusting myself sooner. His words hung in the air, fragile but strong. He had learned the difference between love and blindness, between hope and denial. Outside, the wind carried the sound of boats from the harbor. The world had moved on, and so had we. My phone buzzed on the counter. An email from the federal prosecutor. I opened it quietly. A 17-count indictment. Wire fraud. Identity theft. Conspiracy. Her real name, Lydia Marenko. Justice at last. I showed it to Koa. He nodded, his eyes calm. She won't hurt anyone else, he said. I exhaled, the weight finally leaving my chest. The pearl charm she once gave me now sat in an evidence locker. A small relic of a perfect lie. Nam poured more lemonade, his movements slow, deliberate. He laughed at something Quentin said. It was the first time his laughter sounded real. I leaned against the window, watching the light shift across the room. For the first time, I didn't see loss. I saw renewal. We had been broken, but rebuilt stronger. Our trust was scarred, but alive. Our family smaller, quieter, but honest. The storm had come and gone, and we were still standing. Koa brushed my hand gently. Worth it, he asked. I nodded. Every lie had led us here. To truth. To strength. To peace. Outside, the sky turned gold again. The same color as the vineyard once was. Only now, the light didn't hide anything. It revealed everything. And this time, we were ready to face it. The trial ended quietly, far from the headlines she once craved. Lydia Marenko was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Her empire of lies collapsed in a single courtroom. I sat beside Nam when the verdict was read. He didn't cry. He just nodded, like a chapter had finally closed. Outside, the rain fell softly against the courthouse steps. Koa held my hand, steady and warm. We made it, he whispered. But it didn't feel like victory. It felt like healing. That night, the family gathered for dinner again. No suits, no tension, no secrets. Just laughter that sounded real. Nam looked at us and smiled. Sometimes you have to lose everything, he said, before you learn what truly matters. I believed him. The vineyard back home had been sold, but the memories remained untouched. The place where lies were born had become the soil of truth. As I watched the city lights flicker outside, I realized the story wasn't about betrayal. It was about survival. About learning to trust again. Not others, but ourselves. And in that quiet moment, I knew the darkness had finally lost its hold.